What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I did a live stream first impressions on this one, but I wanted to do a full review video. Now that I've spent a little bit of time with it, I have my carded sample of the new Creed Absolu Aventus. I gotta say, this has sparked a lot of excitement for a lot of people. FragranceNet even had some discounted ones that people jumped on quickly. You can see I've been going through some sprays on that one, testing it out. And I may have a surprising take for some of you. Then again, some of you may not be surprised that this is my take, but I want to deep dive a little more than what we discussed in that live stream and give you a full review here. So let's talk about it. Stay tuned. So I don't have a bottle, and we'll discuss that further in a little bit. Let me give 3 little spritzes here on the test strip. We'll give that a second to dry down. So when this one opens, you're going to be reminded of Aventus. You get pineapple, blackcurrant, bergamot. There's a lot of citruses and fruits going on here. It's a beautiful, vibrant opening that is a blackcurrant bomb. That's the most prominent thing. You will get the pineapple, but blackcurrant, tart, dark, fruity smell. And loads of it. There's a little bit of some spice. There's, I believe, some cinnamon and such. It's got a gingery type of smell, kind of spice reminiscent of Aventus cologne in the top. Very, very fresh, juicy, fruity and citrus type of opening. The elephant in the room is Sauvage Elixir. Opening, not even close. Not even close. Now, as it gets into the heart, there's some obvious similarities here, but I think there is way more differences to Absolu Aventus than there is similarities to Sauvage Elixir. So I make the joke of Aventivage Absolixir. I made that joke in a bunch of live streams, but it's not. It's not the same fragrance. I get the comparison. I do. In the opening, definitely not. But I do get some comparison as it dries. But there's more depth to this. This is a pretty deep fragrance. I have to give them that. It smells better than the original Creed Aventus. I said it. I stand by that. I think this is a better smelling fragrance than Aventus. Maybe not quite as good as Aventus Cologne to me, but it's close. It's hard to tell. Every day of the week could be a different answer between this and Aventus Cologne. But it smells fantastic. Like, this is one of the better openings to come out from an expensive fragrance in a long time. And there's some greatness that has come out this year, in my opinion. In 2023, it's been a great year for fragrance lovers. If you like designer, indie, and niche, if you like the full spectrum, there's been some great releases. And this is a great release. Even with a retail of $5.45 for a 75 ml, which I think is not worth that price. People were getting it around $3 something, $3.38, $3.83, I think. One of those two. Something around that was the number for what people were getting it. And I don't know. I don't know if it's even worth that, to be honest with you. But if we just judge it on the scent alone, it is one of the best smelling fragrances to come out in 2023. I'm just calling it what it is. Beautiful. It develops into this spicy, kind of woodsy feel that's not wildly different from what you get from Aventus Cologne. Though you do get a lot more musk. I get a lot more musk out of Aventus Cologne than I do here, though they do have Ambroxan and musk listed from Parfumo. If I remember correctly, that's typically where I get my note breakdowns, but just a beautiful fragrance that does have its nuance. It does develop, as you would expect from Creed and from an expensive luxury fragrance. Across the board, like I said, this is one of the best smelling releases of the year, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to performance, not a monster, but above average, long lasting. I've been getting in that 8 to 10 hour range, more so in the latter portion, 9 to 10 hours before it becomes a faint skin scent, which I'm cool with. My wheelhouse is 6 to 8 hours, as I call it. That's my wheelhouse. That's the sweet spot for me. Anything over is extra. 8 to 10 hours is definitely extra. Now, some of you probably want 12 plus. And look, if that's what you need out of a fragrance, there's fragrances for you out there. And maybe you will get that out of this. I don't know. You have to. Definitely not a safe blind buy. Sample, guys. I'm so glad I got this sample. And we'll get to that in the overall at the end of the video. But 8 to 10 hours, very good longevity, well above average projection, bright, vibrant, while still having some spice to it, juicy, fruity, citric, super attractive, pull people in, very charismatic type of scent, and the performance goes right along with it to really pull people in. It's above average. I would call it moderate to heavy for about 2 hours. Solid, really good projection. Not a beast, but also not an average basic type of performance that you would expect from most fragrances. No, this is above average. I think the way this performs is perfect for the scent profile. I really do. I think it's so well composed. I gotta give Creed their due here across the board. So longevity, 8 to 10 hours, projection, beyond arm's reach, moderate to heavy range for a solid 2 hours is what I've been experiencing. Sillage is on the moderate side. I do get pretty strong whiffs for the majority of that 8 to 10 hours that I typically clock the longevity at. It's way better than being moderate to mild. Moderate to mild is just a light whiff on occasion that slowly dies out. That's most designer fragrances that aren't monsters. Whereas here, it's always there reminding me, which is a nice change of pace for, Creed gets criticized for, they've watered their fragrances down. And all this stuff you'll hear on the internet. I get it. I understand where people are coming from with batch variations and all that good stuff. But it comes down to olfactive perception and skin chemistry. And this particular fragrance, I think, across the board, it's strong without being overwhelmingly strong in all three categories, which makes it the perfect performing fragrance for the scent profile, in my opinion. Final thoughts. What would I rate this? Am I going to get a bottle? No, I'm not planning on getting a bottle. For as much as I think this is just an amazing release, even right under $400, it's hard to justify. I've never paid that much for one bottle. And I'm not saying it's not worth it to some, because I know a bunch of people that have bought a bottle immediately. And look, if it was a must-add to your collection, I get it. That was a decision that you chose to make. I don't think it's a must-add. I don't think it's just so much better than Aventus Cologne. Personally, because my understanding is this is a limited numbered bottle release. Now, what they do in the future, who knows? You never know with these things, but that's what my understanding is. It's not a long-term house staple. It's a limited run release, and it's one that I'm going to miss. I'm going to pass. I wanted the olfactive experience. I wanted to be able to test this and share my thoughts with you guys on it. So any of you can, if gathering your information, maybe you can't get a sample and this is kind of how you're going to do it. You're gathering opinions that you trust and such. I wanted to give you the most accurate depiction of how it is for me and hopefully help somebody out in this situation. I'm not getting a bottle. I think you're fine with Aventus Cologne. I think it's, for the money, the best of the three. And it's a long-term staple. I think that's better than the original Aventus too. Not knocking Aventus. I love Aventus. I think Aventus Cologne's better. I think Absolu Aventus is better. But with that said, even though I'm not getting a bottle, this fragrance, it's a 9.5 out of 10. It is that good. It is that good, guys. It does smell that good. It does offer a little bit more depth than what you get out of Aventus Cologne. Pretty similar, but it does have more spice to it, more woods. It's juicier and fruitier. It's not just that orange smell with some pink pepper. Here you have blackcurrant pineapple, a lot more juiciness going on here at the top, woody spicy, because that woody spicy aromatic feel to this is what people relate to Sauvage Elixir. But this is a deeper fragrance than both Aventus Cologne and Sauvage Elixir. It's kind of almost like a hybrid of the two. In some ways, when you really think about it, if you smell all three, you'll get nuances of those two in this one for sure. But that's the thing. It's crazy to think that I rated a 9.5 out of 10, which is one of the highest ratings I've given all year in a full review. And I'm praising it for being one of the best releases of the year. And being so well composed and the performance matching the scent profile so well. But I don't want to get a bottle, because if it was $200, I'd absolutely get a bottle. But for high threes, mid threes to $400 range from discounters, it's just not worth it to me with the massive collection I have. It came down to getting to have the experience for me, which I'm happy to have. I have the experience. it's going to take me a while to spray the rest of this because I just do test sprays. And it is a beautiful fragrance. And for those of you that got a bottle, congratulations. You added a wonderful, wonderful composition to your collection, but it's not one that I plan on adding. I'm not saying the possibility is non-existent. The right situation comes along, I'd absolutely grab a bottle. but I have no plans of it currently. But with that said, it's a 9.5 out of 10. Well, there's my thoughts on Creed Absolu Aventus, the new limited release that maybe surprised you with my take on it here, to give it such high praise, but also say, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it. I just think it's too much money. And that's okay. They're not marketing to the budget conscious type of consumer. They're marketing to the luxury consumer, that has, $545 retail is a valuable asset for a 75 ml bottle of fragrance to their clientele that they are marketing to. And they are right to it, and I respect the business practice. I get it, you're paying for a name and lineage, and you're getting quality, but there's a lot of quality out there that doesn't cost $545 or $383 is what I think the number was from FragranceNet. Even then, it's just too high, but it's absolutely an experience worth having that I am thankful to have had. So I hope this video was helpful for some. Until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you watching this grabbed a bottle? Let me know down below. No shade towards anybody. I get it. It's a phenomenal fragrance. It really is. I don't want to spend that. It's a $200 bottle to me. If I get it for $200, I'd be all over it. Even $250, I'd consider it. But for what it's going for, I'm not going to do it. There's so many other things I could do with that amount of money as far as getting wonderful olfactive experiences like I normally do, and I'll continue to do. But that was the main thing I wanted here, was the olfactive experience, and I got that. So mission accomplished. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Absolu Aventus from Creed, you give it a spray now. Who knows? You might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.